All right, folks, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. 706-889-9700 and our email address there. And there's all the social media ways you can follow the show. You know, we're a mom and pop operation around here, Lonnie. you know what I mean, Lonnie? And we don't have the big fancy studio. So ever since the power went off, I know you're tired of hearing this. If you could throw something at the TV, and you probably are doing it now, you're going to. But we're going to try to continue to adjust. We did not realize power going out takes all the settings out of our computer that we have to, our color and lighting and everything like that. So we're going to try to get it straightened out tomorrow. Now I think I have blue hair now, Lonnie. But that's okay. We're going to go with it. Here's where there could be a problem. If I get one damn text message calling me a Smurf, we got a problem. You got it? So Lonnie's ignoring me there. He says, I'm just going to ignore this because I've worked on it 3 times and I can't do anything about it. That being said, moving right along. Lonnie, give me number 22. I want to do a short segment on this. And by the way, while we give me that one right there, and I want you to put it on the screen. Don't put it the total size of the screen until I tell you, because I know you did that last time, and that was great. But on our last segment concerning the House Speaker, David Ralston, yeah, 21, whatever it is, 20. It's the last one I sent you. I've gotten several messages, all right? I got a couple messages online, and some of you have posted some things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait about 20 minutes, and after I do this short segment here, I'm going to read some of the responses on my Ralston segment, that Speaker of the House segment that I just got. So we're going to hold off on that. You have an opportunity, 706-889-9700. You can text me. You can also email me. I'll check the email. And you can go to our social media pages on Facebook and write a comment there. Let's be nice, not get into fights, all right? So I'll wait. In the next segment, I'll look at any of your comments, and I will tell the folks watching some of the comments out there. You may be interested to find out who some of these people are that are making comments this morning concerning House Speaker David Ralston. Now, that being said, Lonnie, put up that right there. Okay, let's go full screen just for a minute. Okay, last night at the Blue Ridge Community Theater, there's a series, okay? So I don't want everybody to take UNG, University of North Georgia, to task, okay? I don't want to take it to task, but they have a series called Learning Cafe. And they do it at the Blue Ridge Community Theater. And once a month, and next month it's going to be, I forget what it is, it doesn't even have, for the most part, their Learning Cafe series has no political, nothing political about it at all. But particularly last night, there's a, is that Nathan Price? Is that, I can't see in that circle. Does that say Nathan Price is an assistant professor of political science at the University of North Georgia? I can't see that far away, all right? And so he has his PhD in political science there, and that's Dr. Nathan Price, and he is the one that spoke last night. And the topic was the road to 2020, realignment in America, and what it means for Georgia, okay? And he actually did a very good job. I feel my opinion that he actually, his presentation was from a Democrat standpoint, but he actually did a pretty good job. And what he was doing is going through the different alignment in America on the different presidential. He went all the way back to FDR. He showed the South being blue during FDR. He talked about the Dixiecrats. He went to every presidential map up to the current one, where Trump broke the blue wall, and up there in Wisconsin and Pennsylvania and Michigan. And he did a fairly good job. So he had an hour. I think he had about an hour. And as he changed the maps, he didn't get into the detail on what changed the landscape in this country. Now, that was something that was missing, but he couldn't get it in an hour. Something that was missing is the change of the landscape of the country based on candidates, based on Saul Alinsky and the progressive movement, based on the corruption in elections, just one thing after another. There's a whole list I could give you. But what it means for Georgia is what really caught my eye. So last night, and the only reason I want to do this story, okay, is for this reason alone. 2020. They brought up, okay, in the 6th district. Thank you, Lonnie. He brought up that Jon Ossoff set the stage in the 6th district that used to be Newt Gingrich's district, and I think it was Phil Gingrich's district. And this used to be Johnny Isakson's district, I think. But anyhow, he talked about flipping the 6th, okay, in this last election. And how, in this last election, Georgia has moved to a purple state. Now, that being said, and the swing, he did not get into, in the 6th district, that Karen Handel, I regret to say it this way, is a bad candidate. Was a bad candidate. When Karen runs, she's not a good candidate. She does not run a good campaign. Now, she did not run a good campaign against Jon Ossoff, all right, that everybody poured in there to save the district. Now, in the last election, the people didn't pour in there to save the district with her. In the last election, and he talked about Alpharetta and education. He brought up the Alpharetta area, the amount of new jobs in Georgia that were requiring higher education. He made reference to higher education equal Democrats. I'm just telling you. In the 6th district, let me tell you something that happened to Karen Handel. One, in the 6th district of Georgia, there are Trump supporters. Whether you believe it or not, there's Trump supporters. Now, if you can do the numbers today and check it out, because they're probably out there, and tell me how many Brian Kemp votes were cast in the 6th district, okay? And how many short Karen Handel, how many less Karen Handel got than Brian Kemp in that own district. I will always say Karen Handel should have made her way, and people argue with me on this. They argue with me when I bring it up. Karen Handel should have made her way to Macon that Saturday, got on the stage if it was only 30 seconds, and let Donald Trump say, hey, up there in the 6th district, I need her in D.C. Please, vote for my friend Karen. I need her. It's all she needed, okay? That would have rallied the Trump supporters that came out and voted for Brian Kemp to vote for her also. Now, I don't think Trump supporters in the 6th district voted for Lucy McBath. I don't think so. But I'm going to tell you, there's a reason why Karen Handel Karen Handel, is not the representative in the 6th District. And I'm going to tell you, Republicans need to run as conservatives in the state of Georgia and not try to find this wishy-washy middle ground that they think will save them in these districts. That being said, I want to finish with this. They still know that rural America and rural, oh, I'm so sorry, rural America and rural Georgia is what put Donald Trump in the White House. So all I want to say last night to my Republican friends, independent friends, Democrat friends, I guess, it was a cold, rainy night in North Georgia. There was sleet in some areas. It was bitter. It was the kind of night that you didn't put your shoes and go back out. It was the kind of night once you were home and was kicked back, you just found no reason to go back out wet and cold. But 35 to 40, I'm going to go with 35. 35 to 40 Democrats in Fannin County found their way back out last night in that miserable weather. And me, BKP. Oh, I go up my hand up. We know who you are. We know, I've seen your show. We know who you are. But everybody's fairly nice. I will say this, Democrats, I can't stand to debate something with somebody that doesn't have the intelligence level, and I know what I just sounded like, a pompous jackass, but still yet, I'm not very smart. I'm not the brightest guy out there. But when I'm having to start and explain two senators to you, if that's where we got to start, but you're yelling, voter suppression. When I have to explain the Electoral College and you're yelling, popular vote. But yet, they're out there. And they came out last night, pretty large. I only had one little problem. Well, the guy was talking about voting or something like that. They were talking about it, and he said, and this guy in the audience said, the Electoral College. He's talking about the Electoral College. And he said, voter suppression. He said something about, well, we have this problem with voter suppression. And I said, whoa, wait a minute. And voter suppression and taking people off the rolls. I mean, voter suppression and taking people off the rolls. Well, I couldn't sit there, right? I said, whoa. You need to say, number one, you gotta, when you say voter suppression, it's as if you're accusing me or somebody as physically stopping somebody to exercise their right to vote. So you gotta watch how you say voter suppression, okay? And man, this guy got angry. I mean, the moderator's like, well, okay, wait a minute. I said, look, don't get mad. You don't have to get, well, voter suppression. I said, well, don't get mad. You said voter suppression. I said, if everybody knows that if you don't vote in the second or third cycle, your name's purged off the rolls. The only thing you got to do is when you show up and you got your driver's license and it matches your current address, it automatically activates your voter roll again. They can't take that conversation. They can't handle that conversation. I'm telling you what, all I want to highlight, I just want to say, folks, 35 Democrats were out last night in bitter cold weather to hear something that sounded like, what's it mean to Georgia? Because they're still excited about flipping the state. And I heard them talking about their game plan is to continue to make sure they got candidates on the ballot for every single thing that's up for election. And don't forget, the reason I'm bringing you this, whether you're bored with it or not, and I know this is not exciting and this is not Bernie Sanders stuff, but no matter how bored you are, they know rural America is what put Donald Trump in office. They know it, and they're coming after us. You remember, Stacey Abrams said, we're coming after you. And she meant it. And I see it in their eyes. I'm your host, BKP. We're going to take a brief break. When we come back, I'm going to discuss, maybe read one or two comments. And then we'll wrap up the day. Lonnie, take us a break.